Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Nathan Sturtzel here, proud principal of St. Patrick Catholic School. And this is a short presentation with some quick hitting points about our exciting new student dismissal solution, PikMyKid, that we've been launching really for the last couple of weeks, and we are going to do full implementation on Monday, March 2nd. Which means we have one more day to continue to practice and use the old parking method for our car line before transitioning to the new method on Monday, and that's what I want to focus on today. So if you were able to come to the parent presentations, that was about a 45-minute presentation with a lot of the rationale and the build up to this decision. But this presentation is a condensed version of that. That's really just going to focus on the logistics and how this is going to work using some maps and things. So let's go ahead and jump to that if we can. And I'll go to our first slide here, which is really not a change in the sense of you're coming in where circle number 1 is, and you're heading down the back hill and then up to circle number 3. Somewhere between 1 and 3, you want to use the app and announce that you have arrived, and that lets us know as staff members that you are here, and we can see that you have announced, and we will use your app, which turns into a card, a digital card with your student's dismissal number, and that allows us to approve you and add you to the queue. So again, that queue on the back end, we can see that. We'll know that you are here to pick up your child, or that you're a delegate, and we'll know who you're picking up that day, and then we'll be able to get the kids in the right order inside the building safely so that they can come out to the curb to get into their ride, if they're a car rider. So if I go to the next slide here, this is for the backup. So if somewhere in here, after the first 50 or so cars are here, and that line hasn't moved yet because the buses haven't been dismissed or something like that, then we're going to have some folks down here to help, but we're going to ask you to dive into that lower lot and stay right, and then just loop around the parked cars that are down there, and we hope that that will help alleviate any of the pressure and the traffic that could build up onto Beckley Station. You maybe saw an LMPD officer here this week. I believe that was on Monday, and that gentleman will be working with us over the next week or so to help with that backup if that does happen, and just make sure we're keeping everybody safe. So he was here on Monday meeting with me and just scouting the campus and making sure he knows what we're trying to do. Now, if I go to the next slide here, now you see the curb, and if you think about the morning drop-off procedure, this is really just a reversal of that. So up there on circle number 3 in the top left, the green circle, that will be roped off, of course, until the preschool pickup and the buses have started to head out, which is usually around 2:50. We will open that up, and the first 16 cars in the line will be pulling up. We'll have cones labeled with 16 stations. It'll be 1, 2, all the way up to 8, and then 9 up to 16. So I've been comparing it to kind of like a roller coaster. If you think about it, like a double barrel roller coaster that pulls up. The kids will be in the order that you have arrived. So using the technology resources available to us, we'll know where you are and when you're coming around the corner, and we'll have kids lined up in the hallway based on this numbered order, and then they will leave the doors to the curb, and they will just pile in there in order, with plenty of staff members there to make sure that that the kids are getting to the car safely. When everybody's in, we'll send those 2 lines out, and then the next line will follow suit. We'll be using the app to dismiss everybody, and so the teachers will be with the students in the classrooms watching that, and they will tell the kids where to go next so that those cars can line up safely, and we'll have our next round. Now, this is not exactly what it looks like now. It's been updated a bit, but this gives you an idea. This is what's called the dispatcher on the PikMyKid backend. So parents don't see this. This is just for staff, but to give you as parents an idea of how this works, we know that active line, those are the kids that should be out on the curb because the parents are there for the kids to get into the car. The next line is the group of students who will be next on the curb, and so we will be forming their line in the hallway just inside the doors, and the kids will know when to go to that spot from their classrooms based on the technology that the teachers will have and sending the students there. The waiting line will be kids who are still in the classrooms but know that their number is about to be called and transferred to the next line. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like for the staff. Now, hopefully most of us have downloaded the app and you've started to get used to the features of using the calendar and editing each child, changing that pickup mode, delegating that pickup to another trusted family member or friend, changing after school programs. That might be chess club or Lego or drama or Girl Scouts or YMCA. That's also where yes, so the YMCA, yes, that's where the YMCA is listed as well. You also have the ability to mark your child absent, which removes them from those lists. So if they're a bus rider that day, it takes them off of that list. So when we take roll, they won't be listed there. So that's very helpful. We'll talk a little bit more about attendance in the next couple of weeks, but for some of you who are using that, that has been beneficial to us as well. You see on the far right hand side there a list of delegates, and if you haven't figured that out yet, you're able to kind of add those in and then pull from that list whenever you want to. So that's been a convenient feature as well. Here's a picture of what it looks like. It has been updated a little bit compared to this graphic, but you are going to announce that you're here to pick up your child. That button should turn green. You want to make sure that your location services are turned on, at least during the app, to be able to do that. And then the staff member, once you announce, that app turns into a digital card. The staff member checks that and then approves your announcement and adds you to the official queue. Now, if your phone is broken, maybe it's not working, it's died, or there's a grandparent in town who doesn't have a smartphone, the laminated cards that were distributed to each child received 2 of those. Those are really as for a backup. So, for example, today I had parents showing, both the card and the phone, and really the phone is the primary reason there, what we want to use. It's the safest and most secure. It's most convenient, especially for those families who are carpooling, but that card is there as a backup that you can show to that staff member, and then we can manually punch those numbers in and insert that so that the children will see their numbers and know when to come out when their ride gets here. A couple other helpful reminders. I mentioned the location services. And that, it's not a race when you get to campus, because that staff member, once that becomes a single file line, has to approve your announcement. So you don't have to feel like you gotta, as soon as you pull onto campus, you gotta hit that button before the next person. It doesn't really work that way, but we do want you to announce somewhere around the lower lot back of campus. There is a stop sign that's like that final spot where if you haven't done it, you should at that point. We're going to see how it goes before we decide to stake that into the ground, but that is coming. Some folks have asked about that. The recurring feature on the calendar is really helpful, especially if like, hey, there's 4 or 5 Lego days from now to the end of the year. You can go ahead and punch those in. If there's drama play, play practice for the next 2 weeks, you can go ahead and do that. So, you don't have to write those notes in every day for the kids. You can go ahead and do those ahead of time, and then we'll have that information each day for us. I did mention a little bit, carpooling is really easy and is encouraged. So we do have some families who are picking up kids, neighbors and such, and so it's nice. The app consolidates all those numbers into one, and so the kids will know exactly where to go to get into one van, so to speak, even if it's 3 or 4 or even more families that are mixed up there. So that's been really nice. Pickup times are from 2:45 to 3:15. I know some students in the past have really been, kind of anxious because they want to be first wave, and so the parent feels that, and they want to make sure they get here early. But now we don't have a first wave or a second wave, so the kids will be safe in their classrooms. They'll be with their teacher. They can read, work on homework, chat with friends quietly, and just wait till their number is called till you get here. So if it's more convenient for you on a particular day to not arrive to campus until 3:10, then that's going to be just fine. And so really you have a 30-minute window versus trying to get here at a certain time and then wait for a while. You can get here at 2:30. We will open up the back of the hill at that time to build a little bit of cushion there so we know what students to send up first. But if everybody shows up at 2:30, we are going to have some traffic issues, and that's what we want to avoid. So really the window of time is that 30 minutes from 2:45 to 3:15. As we mentioned, you may be directed to that lower lot once that line has started. But also if you get here before 2:30, we won't have anybody available to help you at that time. And the last piece, just some quick advantages and things that we'll miss. This will help our environment be much safer and more controlled than what we've been doing for 15 to 20 years now. The current system, so we haven't had any kind of adjustments or changes in that amount of time. It's an improved communication for pickups and after school activities, so lost notes and phone calls and emails during instruction time are eliminated with the convenience of the app. It's rich in data. We can file lots of different kinds of reports to know exactly where students are supposed to be, and it improves the availability for resources. We're able to keep staff in the building at 2 o'clock to work with students and do other things and not come out till it's closer to dismissal time. And then also it allows us to be able to accommodate more events and things closer to dismissal with the use of the parking lot. We are going to miss the social component of it. I know I will, and seeing families out and about during carpool. The early arrivals will be no more, and also it's a big change, and change can be really difficult. So we've been doing this for over 15 years here at St. Patrick. I know, especially for those parents who are close to the end, right? Whose students are maybe close to graduating. Why are we changing now? That's kind of a nuisance, but it is the right move for our students and for our school community to be safer and more efficient. And we'll see what happens with the amount of time that this is going to take. So hopefully, if we all can follow the procedures that will be in place, I think it can be a really efficient process, and we're looking forward to that change. If you ever have any issues, you're welcome to email us here at St. Patrick, or call the school office is probably the best way to do so we can get an answer to you promptly. But also you can check at PikMyKid, support at PikMyKid. You can actually contact them even through the app. There's a feature there, and we don't have all the answers, and we're still learning a lot. So you can always reach out to the company, and they can assist you and us in this new process as well. So that's it for now. Feel free to check out these maps to help refer to you. We'll share this out electronically, and I appreciate all of you who watch this video, who are looking for more information. And we're excited about this change and looking forward to going live on Monday, March 2nd. Thank you very much.